Good Sunday morning and welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. If you can't wake up on a Sunday morning after a win over the Gators in a good mood, if you're not in a good mood, I don't know what to tell you because it feels good to wake up the day after with a 23-17 to win over the Gators in overtime. Ain't got to be perfect, ain't going to be perfect. Just go out, execute, play football for 60 minutes or maybe a little bit more. A little free football last night in Neyland Stadium. Just go out there and execute, do what you do, and come out of there with a win. That is the goal. That is what the point of the game is, to survive, win, and advance. This Tennessee defense, man, just continues to play their tail off. Still a lot of concerns on offense, 100%. No ifs, ands, or buts. We got some issues on offense, but the bottom line is Tennessee got the win. Look, heard it all week long. Heard it all week long. Florida's playing really good football right now. Tennessee needs to be careful. I know how this movie ends. I kept saying it. I know how this movie ends, with heartbreak, with disappointment. We get into the game, and I'm like, here we go again, but not this time. Tennessee found a way to win. How many times over the last 20 years have we seen crazy games like this in Neyland Stadium or in Gainesville, and Tennessee fails to get it done? But now they find a way to win, and that's what counts. Tennessee is 5-1. They're ranked in the top 10, and some people in our fan base act like the sky is falling and we should burn it to the ground. I think sometimes we need some perspective, right? Josh Heupel's beat Florida twice in the last 3 years. Back-to-back home wins over the Gators for the first time, get this, since 1990 and 1992. Were you even alive? Put it in the chat. Were you even alive in 1990 and 1992? That's the last time Tennessee won back-to-back home games against the Gators. Look, Lane Kiffin, Derek Dooley, Butch Jones, Jeremy Pruitt, they all combined over the span of 12 years to beat the Gators one time. Prior to that, Fulmer lost to them 4 years in a row. So we're talking 3 wins over the Gators in the last 20 years, and 2 of those belong to Josh Heupel. Again, I get it. We got some issues on offense. We're going to talk about that, but we've had a night to sleep on it. Hopefully, we're less emotional today than we were last night. We're going to put some thoughts together and get into it. But as always, I need you guys to do that YouTube stuff for me. Just smash the thumbs up below the video. It's quick, free, easy, and it helps the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. If it's your first time here on the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We're not media reporters or journalists. We don't pretend to be any of that. What this channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. We're going to be live later tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time. That's the fan call-in show. You have a voice. You get to come on. You agree, disagree. That's what this channel is all about. Keep it civil, and we'll have a conversation about Tennessee football tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Also tomorrow morning, every Monday morning, 9 a.m., Eric Kane of VolQuest.com, and Locked On Vols comes on and hangs out on the channel. Also, you can help this thing out. Not just smash the thumbs up, but attack the comment section. If you don't have a comment or a question, just put a GBO in the comments. We would appreciate it. It does help the channel. But let's get into it. Let's talk about the win over the Gators, 23-17. Let's start with the Tennessee defense, because this defense is elite, right? They played good enough last week against Arkansas to get the win, but the offense didn't give them enough. Last night against the Gators, this defense won this football game for Tennessee. We talk about bend, don't break, right? When push comes to shove, when your back's against the wall, this Tennessee defense, they step up, they dig in, they make plays. They gave up a field goal early in the game after the Gators started around midfield. So again, field position, right? But they dig in, they force the field goal. Very next drive, Florida goes down the field inside the red zone. You got a 4th and 1. I think it was around the 18, somewhere around in there. They run a jet sweep, right? They try to get cute, run it around the outside. Ricky Gibson just goes and makes a football play, gets the stop. The drive following that, the Gators go almost 80 yards in 7 plays, but guess what? You're on that 1-yard line. You're on the goal line. Guess who steps up and makes a play? James Pierce forces the fumble on the goal line. And look, when you put perspective on it, and this is why, I talk about being emotional post-game or being emotional throughout the course of the game, whether you're on social media or at your buddy's house and you're yelling and screaming and you're mad. And I'm the same way. I do the same thing. I'm emotional during the game. That's what we do as fans, right? We overreact. But when you sit back the next day and look back on things, Florida could have been up 3 to 4 scores at that point. They convert that 4th and 1. They punch it in from the 1-yard line. It was 1st and goal from the 1 when James Pierce made that play. You punch that in. You score in the red zone. Man, we're talking about a 21-0, 24-0 type game. All of a sudden, that's different. But guess what? The defense stepped up and they made the plays when they needed to make them. That's why when we talk about offense, if Nico connects on one of those deep balls, maybe two of those deep balls where you have guys running free, this conversation looks so much different on a Sunday morning, right? But the bottom line is he didn't make those plays. The defense did, but Tennessee still got the one. They got it done. Let's go back, keep talking about this defense, man. You had 3 sacks, you had 12 tackles for loss. Those 12 tackles for loss accounted for negative 46 yards for the Gators. Boo Carter had a sack. Omar Norman Lott had a sack and a half. James Pierce had a half a sack. But man, oh man, the Boo Carter sack, that was James Pierce. That's him stunting around, coming down the pipe, man, just bringing pressure. James Pierce is a dude. James Pierce is playing good football right now. He is getting after the quarterback. Of course, the forced fumble down there on the goal line, that's a game changer. Arian Carter had the interception. That led you to three points. You got 3 points right there because of the interception. Boo Carter's playing really good football. Really good football. Last night had 7 tackles, had a sack, tackle and a half for loss. I'm excited to get into the rewatch and kind of keep an eye on him. But just the secondary as a whole, man, Jermod McCoy making plays, Ricky Gibson making plays. And if you go back to when Jermod McCoy transferred here, one of the things that stood out to me, and the same can be said for Jacoby Thomas and some of the other guys that transferred in, is they're not just in position, they make plays. And we've seen Jermod McCoy making plays. Pass breakups versus pass defended, right? Jermod McCoy is a dude. Ricky Gibson's a dude. Christian Charles had 7 tackles last night. This defense won the game for Tennessee. But it doesn't matter. Just go win, and that's what they did. Let's talk about the offense because, boy, oh, boy, do we have some problems on offense. But we can start with the positives. Dylan Sampson, dude. He's a dude. Rushing touchdowns in a season. He's got 15 through 6 games. He's just 3 away from being the all-time leading rusher for touchdowns in a season. Gene McEver had 18 in 1929. Dylan Sampson has 15 through just 6 games. I didn't realize this. I was listening to VolQuest. He's just 9 rushing touchdowns away from the most touchdowns in a career, rushing touchdowns, that is. Gene McEver also holds that record, had 37 from 1928 to 1931. Interesting, worth noting, played 4 seasons. This is Dylan Sampson's 3rd season. But started slow last night. As a team, the Tennessee Volunteers had 41 yards rushing on 21 carries in the first half. Dylan Sampson only had 19 yards rushing, but he got going in the second half, finished the game with 112 yards and 3 touchdowns. Look, we got problems. And I get it. It starts with Nico. When you're the quarterback at the University of Tennessee, you're going to take some blame. You're going to take some heat. That's just the reality of being a starting quarterback in the SEC. This offensive line isn't doing him any favors. John Campbell had a holding call that brought back a 9-yard Nico scramble. Hurd had a holding call that brought back a 22-yard Nico run. You had a drive towards the end of the first quarter, 1st and 10 from the Florida 31. You got a chance to go get points, possibly take the lead right there. You're just outside the red zone, 3 straight sacks, and you punt the football from midfield. Campbell had 3 penalties. Hurd had a penalty. Entire team had 6. Four of the 6 penalties were on the offensive line. They got to be better. But on the flip side of that, when they do step up, when they do execute, when they do give Nico a nice, clean pocket, and you've got guys downfield, you got to connect. You have to connect, and Nico missed those opportunities. I said it on here, man. I don't think Nico's played good football the last 2 weeks. That's just the way I see it. He finished today 16 of 26, 169 yards, no touchdowns and interception. Interception was awful. It was awful, and that was right after the James Pierce forced fumble. James Pierce forces the fumble. You get the ball on your own 1. You run it 3 times. You got a 4th and 1, and my coach is back. That aggressive coach I've been looking for the last couple of weeks, oh, he's back. And he goes for it on 4th and 1 from his own 10, and we convert it. We pick it up. But then Nico throws the pick. You just can't do that. Just a terrible throw. Terrible throw right into coverage. He has to be better. Now, what's the problem? Again, he connects on a deep ball or 2. It's a different story. Bottom line is he didn't do it. And again, I've said for 2 weeks, he's got to be better. Does that mean that Gaston Moore should play? Absolutely not. Does that mean the $8 million is a waste of money? Absolutely not. It means we got a redshirt freshman quarterback that is continuing to grow and has to continue to get better. And the coaching staff has to continue to get better. They got to set up the young quarterback for success. Now, are we part of the problem? Am I part of the problem? Is the Talkin VAWLS network part of the problem because of the hype, the Nico hype? Y'all people can blame Coach Jay. Coach Jay believes what he believes. But you're talking about national media. You're talking about national recognition. It ain't like this kid came in as a 4-star and Coach Jay was around him and said, hey, man, he's going to be better than you think. We're talking about a 5-star quarterback. We're talking about the number 1 player in the country. We're talking about one of the highest rated players that Tennessee ever signed. So I get it. The expectation is way up here. And Nico has to be better. But we also have to understand he's a redshirt freshman. I'm not ready to close the book on Nico. I said it last night. You want to sell your Nico stock? Go ahead and sell it. I'll buy it up because we got a long way to go in his career. We got to see him continue to get better. And the offensive game plan has to change. Again, Nico's struggling. Is he struggling to see the field? Is he a little late? Does he hold on to the football too long? Does he have a lack of confidence? I like the offensive game plan last night, and a lot of people were critical, saying too conservative, too conservative. I like the game plan early. We saw some different things. We saw him try to get Nico involved in the run game. And then after the fumbled exchange, Nico tries to pull it. It's 3rd and short. I'm fired up. I'm saying, let Nico go here. Let free Nico. They fumbled the exchange. They kind of get away from the run game some. Is it because of that? That one play put a little fear in them? I like late in the game, they started rolling the pocket, getting Nico outside. The broadcast talked about it. Let Nico see half the field. Set him up for success. At the end of the day, Tennessee gets to win 23-17. Lots to clean up on offense. They have to find their identity on offense. We can't just keep relying on Dylan Sampson going out there and winning football games. We can't do it. He's a stud. He's a gamer. Dylan Sampson for Heisman. Start that campaign. People have reason to be concerned, and I get it. It maybe it's a little cliche. It's all the talk in the media right now. It's a week-to-week game. I think it is. Alabama loses to Vanderbilt, and instead of saying, oh, we're going to go kill Alabama, now they suck, they lost to Vanderbilt, it's no, Alabama's still really good, but now Vanderbilt's really good, so they're both going to beat us. I've got concerns about this football team that need to get better, but the bottom line is they can go beat Alabama on Saturday in Neyland Stadium. 100% believe that. You're 5-1. You're 5-1, and everything is still in front of you. Tennessee beats the Gators. It's a good day to wake up a Tennessee fan. There's so much more we can talk about with this thing, but I wanted to put out the day after video. We're going to go get a rewatch in. We're going to go watch the Hypel show. We're going to put some thoughts together and come back for the Talkin VAWLS fan call-in show tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time. What are your thoughts? Jump into the comment section. Let's talk about them. I know you all have some concerns. I know a lot of you guys are excited, and you're celebrating a win over the Gators, as we should be. Again, look what Josh Heupel has done in just 4 years. Remember where we came from before we overreact and blow a gasket. Let's talk about it in the comment section. As always, make sure you smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. I would greatly appreciate it. You can go check out the official merchandise of the Talkin VAWLS Network at bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. You can also support the channel by becoming a member. Hit the join button. It's right over there beside subscribe. It's just $1 a month. We appreciate the support. Keeps the lights on around here. Allows me to bring you as much content as possible. Without you, I'll go back to working a 9 to 5. We'll shut down the channel. But you guys continue to show up, show out, and show love. And for that, I'm grateful. All the links to do that is in the description below. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.